Summer sunshine in Saint-Tropez. This is the Humber estuary. Welcome to P1 SuperStock. And welcome to Hull for round 3 of the 2015 P1 SuperStock Championship. The bridge over the River Humber is the backdrop once again, where for the 5th consecutive year, it's the choppy tidal waters of this famous estuary that will make or break the fortunes of the P1 race teams. After the last race weekend though in Gosport, the crews will have had plenty of rough water experience as the Solent delivered some of the most testing and yet spectacular race conditions I think we've ever seen. Here's Shelley Jory-Lee with a reminder.
Thanks, Kev. Well, last time out in Gosport, it was the weather which was the equalising factor, which forced the teams to drive to the conditions and deliver consistency to gain those all-important championship points.
11 Craft furiously making their way across the top of the Solent as they power towards the first turn.
Alan Marine drove superbly on day 1, only to later have their results disqualified after a technicality involving a flyaway hatch. Driver Aaron Scott was commendably stoic in his handling of this unfortunate situation.
I think it's the most gutting thing is getting that sort of result on the water. The boat performing that well, getting our pit laps timed perfectly. That's amazing. And then losing it all because of, as you said, technicality.
This moved Per Temps Network to the top of the standings after day 1. And on day 2, John and Daisy proved once again they are masters of reading the waves and drove to the conditions perfectly to take a 2nd and 3rd place, enough to clinch the overall weekend win.
Very, very tough, but thankfully we're here, we made it, we're in one piece, the boat's in one piece. So good result.
But perhaps the most notable and commendable story of the weekend was that of Vin Burdock in Quantum Racing. In only his 2nd weekend at the wheel of the P1 Panther, he was guided admirably to a well-deserved 3rd place on the overall podium by navigator Johnny Albert. Vin, new kid on the block, how's it going?
Thank you, yeah, it's going really, really well. I'm really enjoying myself. Obviously I am very, very new to this. It's only my 2nd ever race at the last one and the conditions were extremely challenging.
To say the least.
Never been in conditions like that throughout my entire training, so it was really a baptism of fire for me. However, without a doubt I couldn't have done it without my new navigator Johnny, who guided me round.
Now, Johnny, we've known each other for years, we've raced all over the world together. What's he like to sort of coach round?
Vin's been fantastic, you know, he's taken the training on board, he's driven to the conditions and to his ability, and between the two of us, you know, we ended up on the podium, which is fantastic. So can't you know, congratulate the guy enough. And you know, this weekend we've got the Humber, it's nice and flat, you know, it should make the racing a little bit easier for us, and we hope to continue our winning streak.
Hull has been a favourite with P1 for some time, and it was the first incarnation of a team from the city, one hull of a boat, that sparked a real community interest in the championship. This continued last year with Hull Speed Ahead, whose pilot and navigator now race in opposing teams.
But how important is it for a city to have a powerboat legacy like this?
Oh, massive, absolutely massive. Yeah, it's kind of like, I mean, hopefully we can carry on what John and Sam started.
John and Sam started something really quite special there,
yes,
didn't we,
did.
that we've never seen before.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
One hull of a boat was supported by small businesses. They had a baptism fire in Hull. I was stood watching them as they went over and went for a swim in the Humber. They decided they didn't want to race in 2014. Gav and I took up that opportunity, had a great time, again supported by local companies.
Well, today, flat, calm out there on the Humber. Obviously, local boys, you know all about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, who's gonna get it today out of you?
Not going to call it.
You're not going to call it?
Not going to call it. No.
Well, yeah.
If everybody finishes the race, I'll be more than happy.
You know, there's 11 boats out there, and we saw last time out in Gosport, everyone's got a chance of getting that podium.
So here we are, we're moments away from the first of 2 races of the day, and as we stand here on the quayside, Shelley, this is a completely different kettle of fish to last time out when we were both waiting for the race in Gosport?
I think the racers are actually down there right now thinking, thank goodness it's going to be flat and calm out there. They're going to have a great race. So yes, today it's all going to be about speed and skill of the corners and driving and trim, not about surviving the rough.
Great stuff, lovely. Thanks, Shelley. Let's go join your race commentator now, Dave Moore, as we take a look at the course the guys will be taking on and head out to the start.
The course here on the Humber is run in an anti-clockwise direction. Each lap is 1.4 nautical miles in length, with the pit lap at 1.8. We've had the signal to go and we're away. We hitch a ride with Pickford's Racing. They don't appear to have enjoyed the best of starts. It's a P1 SuperStock debut for Carl Turner in Arthur J. Gallagher. As we peer down on 11 Panthers as they approach the first turn. Alan Marine look as if they will get to the buoy first. They do. Flying Panther, who we now ride with, and GD Environmental just to the right of the picture. It's a great sight as these powerful craft rip up the tranquil-looking Humber. Very different conditions to Gosport as Flying Panther and GD Environmental go neck and neck for second. Arthur J. Gallagher somewhere around 8th right now. It would appear that Flying Panther with the advantage of the inside line. They may have second. They may even have designs on taking first at this early stage, but they tuck in behind. This is Quantum Racing with Kevin Burdock and Johnny Albert. And another new outfit, New Wave Racing with David Taft and Lee Norval. Experience pays, it would seem, certainly for Nick Williams and Martin Robinson. They've competed together for a number of years. They're still second behind Alan Marine with GD Environmental in third. Those three leaving the rest of the pack trailing. Thames Network, who triumphed in the choppy waters of the Solent, are currently fourth. And this is the battle for sixth, involving New Wave and Taifu. And they're practically side by side, with New Wave just ahead. But Taifu do have the inside line into the next turn. Meanwhile, Flying Panther are taking their pit lap, while Alan Marine have stayed out. Will this work to Nick Williams and Martin Robinson's advantage? That is Stuart and Sarah Curitan of Leica Mobile who've pulled up, so they're not happy about something. We're looking down at the fifth place crew. That is Quantum Racing. It's all about teamwork, and it's paying off, it would seem, for Aaron Scott and Gavin Felt in Alan Marine. They continue to lead this opening heat of 4. Alan Marine will be the first to score maximum points here in Hull this weekend. It's a flag-to-flag finish for Aaron Scott and Gavin Felt. This is how it finishes, with Alan Marine in the number 1 position, but big points too for Flying Panther and defending champions GD Environmental.
So a great result for Alan Marine. They're taking the win in those all-important 20 championship points. But they were being chased down hard by GD Environmental and Flying Panther. And you can bet your bottom dollar that those three teams, well, they'll be charging from the front as we head out to the start of the next one.
Green flag is waved. We're underway for the second time across the Humber. Sam Coleman and Will Nurse in Visit Wales. And now David Toos-Hobson and Chris Schreiber of Pickford's Racing. Already GD Environmental and Alan Marine powering away at the head of the pack. Flying Panther would certainly like to be up there, but they're on the outside, working their way in as Quantum Racing and New Wave are seemingly locked together. And how close are the two lead boats? But it does look like advantage GD Environmental. They have the line around the turn, and Alan Marine get a soaking and pull themselves out of the wash. It's tight further back too, with Pickford's in behind New Wave as they pass the famous Sea Life Centre landmark. It's a great start for Quantum Racing, who are competing in what is just their third P1 SuperStock event. They're fighting with New Wave for 4th place at this early stage. Gavin Felt having to look behind as he and Aaron Scott keep an eye on what's happening around them. This is John Donnelly and Kevin Hunt of Taifu. So GD Environmental still setting the pace out front, while New Wave and Quantum Racing continue to squabble over 4th. That looks like Alan Marine going for their pit lap. Aaron Scott and Gavin Felt using this strategy in a bid to take the lead from GD Environmental. So New Wave are now up into third place, and Pertemps Network are fourth due to Alan Marine taking their pit lap. GD Environmental, defending champions, yet to win a race this season, but they are leading this one. Meanwhile, Alan Marine are pushing to get back toward the front following their pit stop. Oh, and pushing too hard. Alan Marine in a spin. The engine is still alive, but that has cost them precious time. What drama in this second heat. New Wave looking for a strong finish. They took podium finishes in the first two heats at Gosport. Now then, this is a replay, and the moment when Alan Marine found themselves in a spin. They may be near the back, but plenty of action as Pickfords and Visit Wales lock horns over 6th position, with Taifu and Quantum Racing contesting 8th. Despite having the inside line, it did look as if Taifu took a wide line around the last turn. It kept them out of the wash of the two craft ahead, but has also pushed Quantum out wide as well. A cheeky wave there to Quantum Racing, and it could be a wave bye-bye as they pull ahead of their rivals around the buoy. We should see Flying Panther any moment now, and there they are in second. And that's Alan Marine, who are up into third and not giving up despite their earlier mistake. They are working very, very hard. And has it happened again? It has! Alan Marine in what looks like a half spin, and that has certainly put a stop to any hopes of a top 2 finish. They pushed, but pushed too hard. It's taken them 9 races, but defending champions GD Environmental are back on the winning trail in P1 SuperStock as they fly past the checkered flag. Despite their spins, Alan Marine still take an impressive third place behind Flying Panther, but no one could catch GD Environmental in that one.
Had a lot of clear water in that race, especially the first one, all the way, kept to clear water. The second one, really difficult decision on when to do the pit lap. Took it early. We were hoping to rejoin the pack and basically follow them round. And then as other people peeled off to do their pit lap, we'd be back in first place, and away we went. Unfortunately, I got a bit overexcited, a little bit overexcited. Rather than sitting behind them, pushed a bit too hard, and just made the same mistake twice.
So 2 great races here in Hull, and at the end of the day it's GD Environmental who are leading by just 2 points. They're on 37 and Alan Marine are on 35. Excitingly for us though, they're coming back tomorrow to do it all again twice. Join us after the break. Welcome to Hull for day 2, where the P1 race teams are getting set to go once again. 2 back-to-back races yesterday gave us loads of incident and excitement. Perhaps one of the most notable moments was seeing Alan Marine spin out twice in that second race, but still holding it together to take third and end up second at the end of the day, just 2 points adrift from GD Environmental. 2 back-to-back races once again then today, and a total of 40 points up for grabs.
There was someone behind us giving us a bit of stick yesterday. Kevin was earning his money. Quantum Racing, doing a fantastic job. I mean, Johnny Albert in there really sort of pushing Vin to his absolute limits, putting him in some situations which really sort of increased his experience, shall we say.
Yeah, on the river obviously it's different conditions than like Gosport and being out in the ocean, but I still feed James the same information, being the water condition, where people are, where they're coming from. And everything I can to tell him, he'll trim and just give him as much information as I can. So he just drives and looks forward.
There might only be 2 rounds left, 2 weekends of racing, but after Hull, we think there's enough points for us to make up and we can get back to the top.
Sam, usually the team manager of Pertemps Network, big change this weekend?
Yeah, it's exciting. I've been given the opportunity to get into Vincent Jade's boat. Unfortunately for him, he's not very well. He's hurt his back, so it's nice for me to get this opportunity and rack up some points for him, hopefully. And it's obviously my first race in a Panther. Being in the washing machine around the first turn, I know we were all the way on the outside because we were rookies, but as we cut across and into the wash in the first turn, it was great. And to experience that, there's nothing else that people can tell you to prepare for it, but actually experiencing it is just amazing. And obviously, you just didn't lift. It was great. I enjoyed it. So yeah.
So here we are at the water's edge then, Shelley, and we are moments away from 2 back-to-back races today. It's going to be an exciting day, isn't it?
Yep, I think the conditions have changed just a little bit. We've still got the sun out, but we've actually got a little bit more wind and definitely a bit more chop out there, which for a stepped hull is perfect. So even more speed and more action than yesterday.
And what about Aaron Scott in Alamarine? He spun twice yesterday. He finished second overall at the end of the day, just back by 2 points from GD Environmental. He's a really exciting racer.
To do it twice and come straight back up and get on the podium, yeah, we've got a good team there. I'd watch out for them. I think they could take the championship.
Great stuff, lovely. Thanks, Shelley. High time then that we head out to the start with your race commentator, Dave Moore.
The third heat of the weekend got off to a blistering start when Flying Panther and Alamarine got very, very close to one another as they came around the turn and onto the front straight. Then a big moment when Alamarine turned over and the race was stopped immediately. Both Aaron Scott and Gavin Felt in the water and safety crews already on their way to assist, and all the other boats coming to a halt instantly. It wasn't long before the crew were safely plucked from the Humber. This is another view as they come around the turn. And even before the boat came to rest, the response team are on their way. This is looking at the 2 crew members turning very fast, and they're thrown out.
Well, incident there in the early stages of this, the first race on the Sunday. Looks like Aaron and Gav in Alamarine pushing hard against Nick and Martin in Flying Panther. They were going side by side at the bottom end turn down here, and then at the top end, I think Aaron's just overcooked it a little bit. All I saw was a huge plume of water, and suddenly the boat's upside down. They'll get brought in here, checked over by the paramedics team, and fingers crossed, both the guys will be all right.
The news from the medical centre is that both crew members are in excellent condition. The third heat was restarted, and the surprise package this time was Taifu, who got away very quickly and were third going into the first corner behind Flying Panther and GD Environmental. And it was those 3 who were pulling away from the pack. Conditions very similar to the previous day, and therefore not to the liking of John Wilson and Daisy Coleman in Pertemps Network. They lead the championship, but didn't get a good start in this one and would eventually come 5th. Flying Panther providing the pictures as they lose the lead to GD Environmental when they rejoin in 2nd place, having just taken their pit lap. GD Environmental would stay out front and take the win. Taifu would hold on to 3rd place to the flag and finish behind Flying Panther and GD Environmental, who are certainly back in the winning habit.
So Gav, Aaron, the boat's being winched out here. Tell us what happened from where you were sat.
Tight corner, great racing really. We were really close to Flying Panther all the way out that first straight, got to the top buoy, and it went a bit wrong from there.
It lurched and then I was airborne. So Aaron leave the boat as well, and then next thing it was just under the water, so it's, yeah.
The rescue team were great. They were on us in seconds.
Yeah, just fantastic.
The final heat of the weekend is underway. Arthur J. Gallagher have finished 9th in each of the 3 previous heats. GD Environmental have got the taste of victory in their mouths and are now seeking a 3rd straight win. Meantime, that's Visit Wales and Leica Mobile practically locked together. Around the turn they go, one of the most impressive sights of any form of motorsport. GD Environmental with the lead, but Flying Panther sticking with them. Here they come. And we ride with New Wave, David Taft and Lee Norval, and it's been another strong weekend for them following their great display at Gosport. Sam Coleman and Will Nurse of Visit Wales coming up on Quantum Racing. It looks like Quantum are being passed, and Leica Mobile also looking to follow suit. Out front, it's still GD Environmental, but Flying Panther still very, very close. That's who we go on board with as they move in tight to the turn, keeping GD Environmental fixed in their sights. Series leader P1 Network still looking for a top 3 finish this weekend. Although Taifu have, they passed the flag in 3rd place in the previous heat, but have a bit of catching up to do in this one. While everyone else is scrapping for places, GD Environmental continue to set the pace. This is toward the back. Arthur J. Gallagher have finished ahead of Visit Wales twice this weekend, but Sam Coleman and Will Nurse did get the better of their rivals Mark Moore and Carl Turner in the previous heat. GD Environmental looks as if they are pulling away from Flying Panther. That gap between them looks to be increasing steadily. New Wave Racing in 6th, but coming under pressure from Leica Mobile. Leica Mobile have the inside line as they square up to each other. New Wave are refusing to let their rivals go past. It's close. David Taft and Lee Norval keeping a close eye on their rivals. They've been pushed all the way by Flying Panther, but in this kind of form, there's no stopping GD Environmental as they make it 3 wins in a row. Third is the best result of the weekend for P1 Network. Flying Panther in 2nd did everything but win, yet the same can't be said of GD Environmental.
Back-to-back wins there for GD Environmental gives them a maximum 40 points on the day. Let's take a look now and see what that's done to the overall championship standings.
It looks like a 2-horse race with Flying Panther reducing P1 Network's lead at the top, but with 2 rounds still to go, the crews in 3rd and 4th could still have a say.
We had a great battle with Flying Panther in the first race. Chose our pit lap wisely. Charlie was very busy, telling me what was going on, but it paid off.
I was very busy, telling him exactly where people were, where Nick was, what his lines were. People behind us, so James knew when to take the pit lap, when not to take it.
It all came together and we beat them.
We're really pleased to finish the weekend 2nd and move back up to 2nd in the championship. We had a lot of battles with Alam and also with GD, yes.
You know, realistically, we didn't actually expect to be on the podium this weekend, so to still be here and have got 3rd place is pretty good going, and we're quite chuffed really.
So there you go, the sun sets on another fantastic weekend's racing here in the P1 SuperStock Championship. Shelley, we were treated to thrills and spills galore out there today.
It was close racing all weekend, and yes, we had the spills, the heart stopped, but amazing racing by all, and to get back on the racecourse after that is really great for everybody.
Yeah, and today's result really closes things up in the championship. Now very tight at the top between P1, Flying Panther, Alan Marine and GD Environmental.
It could go either way.
Could go anyway. Great stuff, lovely. Thanks to you, Shelley, as always, and thanks to you for watching. Next time out, we move to Cardiff, so we'd love it if you could join us there. But for now, from all of us here in Hull, see ya.
See ya.